So this is my first introduction to a Stoeger firearm. For some reason, they've eluded me all this time. But I did recently get a chance to test the brand new model STR-9 Combat X. The Combat X is a polymer-framed, striker-fired 9mm handgun in a medium-sized format. One look at the gun and you can see that it's intended for those who like to compete. Whether your game is Steel Challenge, IDPA, USPSA, or the fun new GPA, the idea is you can take this out of the box, head to the match, and be well equipped for an incredible price. I'll hit the specs and I'll give you that price in a bit, but first, let's hit the range and see what the Combat X is all about.
Stoeger's got a new gun out, the STR-9 Combat X, and this one looks like it wants to be match ready. The extended magazines hold 20 rounds, at least that's how many I squeezed in. They're labeled down to 15 on the back, but I got 20 in there. And these will be my first shots with this 20 rounds full magazine. All right, I'm gonna see if I can warm me up and warm the gun up. Like the sight picture. It's a 3-dot. All 3 dots are fiber. And they are bright and effective. Looks like it's dialed in pretty nice too. All right, well, out of 20 rounds, I think I counted 1 miss. That's just me getting used to the sight picture, I'm sure. So far, 20 rounds in, I like the way it feels. Slide stop, slide release control is ambidextrous, which is nice. And it works extremely well to send that slide home. All right, so let's talk about my other perceptions early on here. So I already talked about really liking these sights. I also really like the feel of the gun in general in my hand. Very comfortable. It's got nice texture, but it's not biting. The trigger is very comfortable. It's very comfortable on the finger. It's also really crisp. It feels 5-poundish, which is expected. And man, it is just putting them right there. It's got a 6 o'clock hold for sure. So when I'm shooting those plates, the round plates, I'm holding pretty much right at the bottom of them. I maybe could come up just a little skosh, but it definitely likes a 6 o'clock hold is what I'm seeing so far. Try those square plates. Those are always my biggest challenge. See? Okay, got it figured out there right at the end. Feels like a real shooter, and the accuracy looks like it might be extremely good, even in my hands. That's saying something. I'm just shooting PMC bronze ammo, 115 grain ball, good garden variety range stuff, but it is making, well, you can see on that center target, that ADAP target, it is just making one big group right there in the middle. The STR-9 Combat X is optics ready, and I may test that out at some point here in the near future. But if you're familiar with the channel, you've heard me say in the past, my philosophy is I always prefer to test the gun open sights, even if it is optics ready, because the minute I put a red dot on it, for me, your mileage may vary, but for me, it just kind of becomes all about the red dot. That's my whole perception. My whole experience is just looking through that window and the red dot. So I kind of prefer to go analog for my my reviews and my testing, and I can always throw a red dot on it anytime, right? It's got a nice full grip. It's got that full 17 round size frame grip, and it's got a nice magwell at the bottom. What that means for me with my medium-sized hands is that I can get this support hand pinky wedged just underneath my strong hand pinky, and boy, that gives me a nice lock on the gun. If this was a match gun, it wouldn't go anywhere in my hands. I really like that. It's got a nice texture all the way around. It feels good, and like I said, not too aggressive. A little smooth up here, as most guns tend to be. Could always stick a Talon grip on it, and that would take care of that smooth area right there. All right, let me see if I can clean up those plates. That one just, I'm hitting it, but it doesn't want to move. Okay, what's going on? All right, always finish on a hit if you can. If I was smart, I would edit these videos and make it look like I never miss. But I'm not that smart, and I hate to spend that much time editing. I think I'm hitting it. There we go. Definitely did that time. All right. Off with you. Huh. Okay, once again, luckily finished on a hit. It's important for my self-esteem. The great thing about a 20 round magazine is if you're shooting in a competition, at least the kind of competition that will allow 20 rounds in a 20 round magazine like USPSA and the new GPA, Galactic Pistol Alliance, probably never heard of that. That's something I'm going to tell you about in the near future. Anyway, if you're shooting one of those competitions, you can take full advantage of the extended magazine. Or if you're just at the range having a good time like I'm doing today. The downside to a 20 round magazine is it can get expensive quick if you just keep pulling the trigger, because you can just keep pulling the trigger. And I'm finding that this Combat X is a gun that makes you want to just keep pulling the trigger. All right, I'm going to try and go a little faster. You'll probably miss a lot more, but put this gun through some paces here. All right, it's a fun gun to shoot. I'm telling you, I am enjoying it. Just everything feels so sort of pre-warmed up for me. As you can see, the magazine release works just great. Mags drop free and clear. It's a nice button. It's small and it doesn't stick out a whole lot, but it is just super easy to reach. M&P like is probably what I would compare it to the most, but with a different sort of texture. Gets the job done. Okay, quick range report. Stoeger STR-9 Combat X. I'm loving it. I've put about 250 rounds through it this morning at the range, and it's starting to get nasty. So, so I'm kind of glad to be wrapping things up a little bit. I thought about putting up a paper target like I sometimes do and doing some accuracy, but I got to be honest with you, that group on my steel target that was fist size at 13 yards satisfied me. I know that, you know, if I really settled down and tried to shoot accurate groups, this thing would shoot some seriously accurate groups. If I do a part 2 and I throw a red dot on it, that would be the time, I think, to put paper target up and really see what it can do. But suffice to say, I would have absolutely no hesitation whatsoever to put this in a holster and wait for the buzzer to go off. I mean, this is a competition-ready handgun, absolutely. The magazines are really, really nice quality. They're stainless steel. They're made in Italy, which implies Mekgar. I don't know that to be sure, but it implies to me that they're Mekgar magazines. Zero malfunctions of any kind today at all, and I put a lot of different kinds of ammo through it. I even threw some competition hand-loaded stuff. I even put some Russian stuff through it. It just ate everything up and spit it out, and it spit it out really accurately. It's a comfortable gun. It comes with 3 different back straps, so you can really tailor it to the fit that you like and the size of your hand. Stainless steel guide rod out front is a little bit of extra weight. How much difference it makes, you know, is arguable. You could debate that all day long on the forums if you like to, but it is a stainless steel guide rod and it certainly doesn't hurt. If nothing else, it gives you some more rigidity and some more reliability than just a polymer guide rod would, regardless of whether there's a weight benefit. Sight picture, as I said a couple of times already today, is really good. I really like it, and I'm kind of surprised. I'm not usually a big fan of the 3-dot fiber optic type of sights. But I really like this. I really love the sight picture it gives me when I push out, and I feel like I just picked them up so quick, so easy. So big kudos to Stoeger on the choice of putting these sights on this gun. Trigger feels fantastic. It runs fast, about as fast as you want it to. Feels good on the finger. It's light and crisp. I'll talk a little bit more about this trigger later, and I'll talk about all of the specs of the guns, and we'll look at some eye candy. And we'll do that from the comfort of my air-conditioned studio.
Okay, here are the basic specs of the STR-9 Combat X. It is a Glock patterned handgun with a few modifications internally. The ambidextrous slide stop is a nice touch because not only are some competitors southpaws, but some stages require a weak hand start or finish, and it's nice to have that control there. As I mentioned, it's medium-sized and it has a 4-inch barrel. The overall length is 7.44 inches. It stands 5.5 inches tall with that magwell on it, and it's just under 1.3 inches wide at the widest point, which is across the slide stops. It weighs about 1 3/4 pounds. I measured the trigger pull at just under 5.5 pounds, and more importantly, it's nice and crisp. It comes with 3 very good quality magazines, And as I mentioned, the sights are fiber optic back and front, and the gun is optics ready and includes several adapter plates to fit all the popular footprints. This gun's on loan to me for review, but I have to say that I would not mind owning it. If that's an option, I just might. If I do, I'll do a follow-up video in the future, and I'll run a red dot on it. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the best part. The MSRP is $599 for this gun. That means that once inventory settles down, it should be in the $550 range all day long. That might be the best bargain I've seen in a very long time. For me, it performs much better than Glock clones that cost twice as much, and it gives you all the same features. If you're thinking of getting started in competition, or you just want a great reliable range gun that can be the family defender as well, this gets you there without having to rob the family budget. Let me know what you think in the comments below. You can really support the channel and help keep content flowing by hitting like and being a subscriber. I'm on Patreon if you want to support me that way, and I greatly appreciate all my Patreon patrons. Look in the description of this video and you'll see several discount codes and affiliate links. You can save significant money on products that I use and recommend. And if you think this video was especially helpful to you, or you just want to say thanks, there's a button right below the video called YouTube Thanks. It's kind of like leaving a tip if you think you got good service. This is just an opinion. Thanks for watching.